What is up, guys? Longwood Ranger here talking to you guys today about planes. Specifically, I'll be talking about the fighters that you can use on Battlefield 1 and how to get more kills when using them. So, let's get started.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A seven-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself.
So, like I said, we're going to be talking today about fighters in Battlefield 1. Even more specifically, I'm going to be talking about how to get more kills with the explosive trench rounds. In order to use the Trench Fighter package, you need to unlock the vehicle package for the fighter plane, which costs 250 war bonds. The Trench Fighter package features two weapon sets. The main weapon set is twin heavy machine guns located at the front of the plane, and the second weapon is the explosive darts that you are able to drop onto ground targets. The Trench Fighter package also features spotting flares, which can be dropped to identify ground units. With this deadly combination of spotting flares and explosive darts, the Trench Fighter package allows the pilot to locate clusters of targets and destroy them with a single drop. These darts are also dangerous to enemy vehicles and aircrafts, but will do little damage to enemy tanks. There are four versions of the fighters on Battlefield 1, each one distinctive with a certain team. The Albatros D3 is featured as an Austria-Hungary and Ottoman Empire fighter. The Dr. 1 Scout is operated by the Imperial German Army. The Sopwith Camel fighter, which is flown by the British Empire. And finally, we have the Spad S-13, which is flown by the French Republic, Kingdom of Italy, and the United States. Each fighter flies essentially at the same high rate of speed and is able to light up the wings of enemy attack planes and bombers with quick flybys. Now, getting into how to get better with this plane. It will take some practice to get used to the quick speed, turning rate, and stabilization of the fighter, but once you have that down, you'll be lighting up enemy planes in no time. With the high speed of this plane, you have to know how to chase planes of equivalent or slower speeds. So stalling on this plane comes in handy by just pushing the opposite way of the throttle. This will keep you behind slower planes and allow you to adjust your sights back onto your target. It's also a good maneuver when trying to avoid enemy planes that are hot on your tail. By aiming your sights slightly above the plane you're chasing, the bullets will fall onto the plane, and even if they decide to try to loop, you'll be able to follow and get a few more shots on them before having to track them down again. As you can see with the stalling technique, I'm able to stay behind this enemy attack plane and constantly shred him up. In order to take down other planes, it's easiest to stay behind them and follow until they even out and you have a steady shot to continue firing until you take them down. Firing flares allows you the opportunity to locate ground targets as well as spot them out for your teammates. This marks enemy targets and highlights an orange dot above their head. Both you and your teammates can see these dots and locate enemies quicker. Although you may only mark or find one target, such as a sniper, this can still be beneficial to your team and help disrupt the flow of the game. By checking the location of which flags the enemy holds, you'll be able to know where they spawn and which flags they are taking. This allows you the opportunity to fly over those flags, mark your targets, and drop trench darts to pick up multiple kills. Now, although I misled the targets and dropped the bombs too late, the trench rounds reload pretty quickly, and since I know where their spawn is, it's easy to spin around and take out targets for multiple kills. This is a very common occurrence to where you may only do partial damage, but by figuring out how to lead targets, even moving ones, you'll start to pick up more kills and won't have to loop back to finish the job. But don't be surprised if you stop flying for a while and have to relearn how to lead targets. Obviously, it's easier to hit non-moving targets, so I'd recommend going for those snipers on the hillside before charging in at multiple enemies. Now, while bombing enemies on the ground is fun, you are able to kill pilots of other aircrafts with these bombs too. It just takes a little skill and some luck. By going after enemy planes, you can be helpful, and you should work towards keeping them off of your teammates as well. By targeting enemy planes, you can keep them off of your teammates, but just make sure you don't become a target yourself. So it's important to track planes and chase them until you can shoot them down. I was able to injure this pilot enough that when he tried to land his plane, he had too much damage, and by touching the ground, he blew up. Just as a last tip, I'm going to show you guys how to land a plane. First, make sure you have a large flat open field. Then you're going to want to pull back on your throttle so that you lose speed and altitude. You'll want to keep your wings steady and even because if they touch the ground, the game will render it as a crash. So fly towards the ground, and as you slow down and get closer, start to aim up as if you're going to fly again. But keep holding back the throttle so you slowly drift to the ground. Let your wheels bounce a few times, and eventually you'll be slow enough to come to a stop. As you get better at this technique, you'll be able to land on hillsides and even dunes like you saw at the beginning of the video with my friend the USA Hole. I hope these tips have helped you with flying. Once again, I'm Longwood Ranger, and I'll see you next video.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A seven-nation army could